And I think that the United States and China are already in the early stages of Cold War II, because it's not just about trade. It's about technology. It's also got a geopolitical dimension. And you could argue that if there is a lesson of history, it is that when there is an incumbent power being challenged by a rising power, more often than not, conflict results. That's an argument my old friend Graham Allison made in his book Destined for War. I think the good news is that I don't think they're destined for a hot war over the South China Sea or anywhere else, but I do think they're in a Cold War, and I don't think President Trump any longer has the power to turn it off by doing a trade deal, which I think he intends to do at some point between now and next year's election.
Yeah, just in the nick of time, perhaps, to get those votes from the floating vote. But here's the thing, and look, it's not just about China and the United States. You've got India. OK, they've got this great mountain range between them, but they're both looking for growth in the region. You've got Taiwan. You've got other countries in the region as well where there are conflicts. China, of course, got One Belt and Road. It's looking to bring a lot of these countries into its economic domain. But actually, will other countries start a conflict with China potentially? Or will China start a conflict with other countries?
I doubt that, actually, and I think that's why the Cold War analogy is reasonably good, because the competition that we see in the world today is a competition that's partly ideological. Let's look at the case of Hong Kong, where it's very clear that there is a tension between the rule of law tradition in the former British colony and the one-party state that claims to run Hong Kong, albeit indirectly. There's also an economic challenge. China is, at least by one measure, a larger economy than that of the United States today. And then you have the technology cyberspace race. In some ways, China's pulled ahead, at least in, say, payments technology. And there is an extremely interesting race going on in the realm of quantum computing, to take just one example. So this all reminds me of early Cold War, when the Soviet Union appeared to be catching up with the United States. It didn't catch up economically, but it certainly did catch up in terms of nuclear weapons and the space race. As in the Cold War, it is a multiplayer game. There are all other kinds of players involved.
It's a multiplayer game of chicken, is it?
It's a multiplayer game of chicken, but there are two dominant players, as there were in the early Cold War, and the dominant players are the United States and China. The key thing here is that Donald Trump's role historically has been to waken America up to the Chinese challenge. I think that he did achieve that. When he started talking about putting tariffs on China back at the beginning of his election campaign in 2015, people acted like he'd lost his mind. Now it's conventional wisdom. Now it's a bipartisan issue that the United States needs to wake up to the Chinese challenge. The problem for Trump is that, having started this Cold War with a trade war, he's no longer in a position to simply turn it off when it suits him, because the thing has escalated into other domains, and particularly into the domain of technology, and I think he has much less control over that.
Hi, I'm Joanna Bersecci, and thank you for watching. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more from CNBC International. Thank you for watching.